What's up, everybody? It's me, D-Ray, roller derby player and coach and certified athletic therapist up in Canada. Today, we're going to talk about the foundation of all our workouts and games, and that's warming up. But what do I mean by warming up? If I ask 100 people, I'll get 100 different answers. And there's a lot of research, there's a lot of bro science, and there's lots of people and opinions that are wrong, to put it politely. But everyone's got the right idea that we need to be doing something, but what exactly should we be doing? So today, what we're going to talk about is what the research says makes a good warm-up and how we can check off enough boxes so that we can be successful in our games and practices, and also so that we can be efficient with our time. So when we look at the research that's out there, there are 7 areas that we need to make sure we do in a warm-up. I know it sounds like a lot, but bear with me. The first one we need to do is get psychologically ready for the game. We need to be ready for competition. And that involves a lot of getting in the process, getting out of your head and into your body, getting with your teammates, feeling positive, feeling ready. The next thing we want to do is actually warm up our bodies. Our muscles and everything are a little bit colder before we start. And as we warm up, it allows all the chemical processes in our body to be a little bit quicker, a little bit more efficient. The next thing we want to do is cycle through our energy systems. We have different overlapping energy systems in our body. We need to be able to sprint at max effort in a short amount of time. We need to play for a whole 2 minutes, and then we need to play the entire game. So all of our energy systems are going to be used, and if we can cycle through them in the warm-up, we can go back to them in the game more efficiently and a little better. And that ties into the next one, which is that in a good warm-up, we need to approach maximum effort. We need to get pretty darn close to being out of breath and feeling like we're almost done in the warm-up, because then in a game, again, it's going to be a little bit more efficient, a little bit faster to happen. Sorry, the fans just came on. The next thing we want to do is warm up our joints and prime certain movements so that we can avoid injury and be a little bit more powerful. Our joints are kind of stiff and dry when we start. We warm up, they become more pliable, they fill with fluid. It allows us to move better and absorb forces going into and through all our joints, especially our knees, our ankles. And then as we practice movement patterns, the better we can do it in the moment, the better we're going to be able to do it in the game. The next thing we want to do is use our time wisely by doing roller derby specific movements. We could do a general warm-up, sure, but we want to use the time we have to practice moves that might come up in a game. I mean, if we can do some of those, again, it'll be a little bit easier in the game and a little bit safer and a little bit better. The next thing we want to do is be efficient with our time. Research shows that if you kind of keep it below 10 minutes, you're not going to get those physiological benefits of actually warming up. And if we go too long into 20 minutes, you start stacking the fatigue and just kind of losing that potential effort that you could have had in the game, and more opening yourself up to injury. So we want to keep it somewhere, ideally in a 15-minute range. That way you check all the boxes. Anyone that wants a little bit longer warm-up is going to feel like it, and no one's going to be too tired yet to get hurt. So when we have those goals in mind, we want to build a warm-up that checks off all those boxes. And for me, I break it into 3 sections. I have the first group, which is warming up and activating our muscles. The second group, which is mobilizing our joints and practicing movements. And the third section is all-out effort. So let's do it. Here's the setup. I'm between 2 cones, which is about the distance between the jammer line and the pivot line. I'm going to line up on one. If I had my whole team, I'd probably line up along the line with groups of 3 or 4, just so you could keep it moving. As I go through each exercise, I'm going to explain it. And at the end of each segment, we'll talk a little bit about it. But I'm going to run through it, so feel free to try it with me. And good luck, all right? So the first thing we're going to do, we're just jogging, keeping it slow. If you remember, I was saying that we want to be psychologically ready for our game. So to me, a good thing is to have a mantra for yourself, just to psych yourself up. So I always kind of be like, let's go, come on, we got it. So we're running 4 times, nice and slow. We're just warming up, remember that. We're going to go into backwards. Running backwards is really good for your knees, good for warming up the quads. And, you can skate backwards. So, again, we're going 4. So each one, I didn't say, is a length. We're going 4 lengths of this. When I post it, I'll make sure that you can actually read what I'm saying. And then we're going to go into side shuffles. Again, just opening up the legs. We can swing our arms a little bit. Get to the end. We're going to go back. And we're going out. And back again. Again, opening the legs, opening the arms, getting that heart rate going. Okay, now we're going to go into grapevines. Make sure that we're kind of letting our hips rotate nicely. And we're going to switch. If we stay facing the same way, we get both sides. Good. Second time, let's go a little faster, a little bit snappier with that leg coming over, and go back. And then, geez, I forgot.
Make sure you read it. I see. Okay, so we're going to go into
high knees. So when I do a high knee, the first time I do it, I like to actually activate my hip flexors, make sure that I'm getting that knee up and that I can do the movement correctly. And then on the way back, I want to do it fast. Now that that movement's primed. If you don't do it like that, I find you kind of do it halfway both ways. So same thing, we're going to do butt kicks. Same idea, I mean, where we're first trying to activate those hamstrings. Making sure hamstrings are healthy is very important throughout this whole warm-up. You'll see. We're going to keep going. And then, again, on the way back here, going faster, faster. I guess I was kind of going side to side there. Can do that, but the key is hamstrings, go fast. Oh, I forget again. I'm going to
bring the paper over here.
We're going to do fast feet. So I use a line, whatever. It's not about precision so much as kind of moving those feet quickly. Coming back. We're going backwards now. Again, an action you'll see in roller derby. Toe stop action. Tracking a jammer. Oh, faking out blockers. Oh, yeah. Toe stop running. In any case, warming up your nervous system is good too. Next, we're going to hopping, so with 2 feet. And then again, in the first pass, we're just making sure the movement feels nice. Muscles are activating. Second way, I want to increase the intensity, both in terms of height. We really want to be quick off the ground. Oh. Then we're just going to do 1-footed hopping. Again, something that can come up in derby. Having that ankle stability, very important. What with the wheels on our feet. Switching feet. Oh, I'm tired. Then we're going to do, next thing is bounding. That's 2 feet takeoff, 2 feet landing. Try to be nice and soft again. Control the whole time. You want to land on the ground softly. Good, we're feeling it. Let's go, buddy, come on. And then we're gonna jump far now. Further, higher. One more, yeah, buddy. Oh, okay. Then, skater lunges. Going from bilateral, that is 2 legs, to unilateral. Making sure we feel this movement nice. Again, on theme, the way back, we're gonna higher, faster, further. Oh, stick the landing though, of course. Oh, I'm getting tired. Come on. You got it, buddy. Going back to my mantra there. Oh, okay. That's the end of section 1. As you can tell, it's probably a fair moment to give your athletes a second. Catch their breath. That's the end of that first segment, which was, again, warming up, activating muscles. Now we're moving into the mobilization phase, which is to practice movement patterns, make sure our joints feel good. So that's been enough of a rest time. First thing we're gonna do is lunges. Oh, fan went off. Probably hear me a lot better. I like lunges for roller derby because look at my hip movement. I can get into like a really deep movement. My posterior leg, I get a huge stretch of my hip flexor, but also it's an eccentric load, meaning that it's active right here at the bottom. That's where we want strength in our hip flexor at the end of range. The other side that I care about is my hamstrings. So I like to do a lot of hamstring work at this stage, ultimately helping the hip and the knee function a little better. And I know this is a hip flex traction also, but we need our hamstring to slow our leg down at the top. Sticking with the lunge theme, we're going to do another lunge, but this time we're going 45 degrees while I'm staying mostly facing straight. And again, that opens up the hips, puts me in that eccentric hip flexor stage, but now also because of this angle, it brings my adductors, my groin muscles into the equation. And again, it's letting me have control at this range, which in a skating sport, you never know what's going to happen. You find yourself in weird positions, but if you have something approaching stability at end ranges, you're just going to, be harder to stop, or stop people more likely. Next thing to do, I don't know what you call these, single leg RDLs. We're going to the back side of our hips again, hamstrings. Similar move to the high kicks where the hamstring is eccentrically stopping me from bending over, basically. Good for the hamstrings. D-Ray's dying, guys. Keep going, keep going. Then we're going to go into my favorite lunge, the curtsy lunge, where we step over that leg, still trying to face forward as much as you can. And to me, this is a lot like a crossover. Oh, almost lost it there. You can kind of get your back foot to roll off, even more so like a crossover where you push under, use your toe. But again, mainly just about opening that hip, practicing that mobility. Oh yeah, then we're gonna do scoops. Kind of could have done one more lunge there. What do you think, guys? Okay, my heart rate's coming down a little bit, still pounding. That's good. We cycled through an energy system there. Basically that 2-minute energy system. Oh, what's it called? Glycolytic? No, not oxidant. It's the anaerobic system anyway. Scoops. Okay, then we're gonna do side lunges. So I'll face this way. Land on a leg, bend into it. We're gonna bring our leg over, bend the one we land on. So that energy system anyway, the anaerobic system, pumps on after the initial sprint. And you get about 2 minutes of energy with it. And when you run out of that 2 minutes energy, you need your third system to fire up, start burning oxygen, but that takes a little bit of time to fire up. And that's the system that lets you play for the whole game. What are we doing? We're doing. Hug the knee. Knee hugs. This is a great stretch. I find really a good way to target the hamstrings and the glutes. I can't really get a good stretch any other way. When we get to, I'll walk back so you can see, when we get halfway, we're gonna go to hugging the knee to the side. So same action, I'm using my hand to more like assist, and then I'm using my hip flexor to actually get into that a little bit higher position. Which I think is gonna lead us right into the next one. Yeah. What does that say? Okay, so this one we're gonna open the gate. Yeah, very similar to stepping backwards. Again, on theme of mobilizing the hip. Our hip is such a huge joint. And then when we get halfway, we're gonna switch to closing the door. So I like to pretend you're stepping over something. Ooh, big pile of poop. What was I saying? Oh, I forget. Come on, buddy. Ooh. Fans are pretty loud in here, but I think the mic does pretty good. Oh, I went really slow on that, getting tired, but we're almost done. Now, we're gonna do a quad stretch, just a simple one. Lift that arm up. We wanna extend through the stomach, up into the arm. Stretch that entire chain. Oh, when we get halfway, we're gonna switch to, about halfway, a figure 4 stretch. I'll walk backwards so you can see it. You could walk forward in real life. A little bit of a piriformis stretch. A little bit of a posterior lateral leg stretch. Okay, the last thing, well, I guess we're gonna do 3 things. We go into arm circles, just walking slow. We're gonna keep it backwards. Feeling that full range with your shoulders, letting it open up. As we come back, we're gonna switch directions. And you know, I don't know about you guys, but after a game, my shoulders are always dead. So we wanna keep them as healthy as we can. Okay, next thing we're gonna do what I call thunder clappers. I call giving yourself a big old hug, pat on the back. As we pull our arms back, open up the chest. Use your pecs to swing your arms, stretch your back out. Sorry if that's not good for mics. Same idea, but now if you can see my back, it's a good angle. Going up on angles, coming back. Angles, coming back. Angles. Oh, a little bit of a brain teaser too. Oh, man. I don't know about you guys, but moving my shoulders always feels good. Definitely something I don't do enough of. Okay. Let's go, buddy. Let's go, D-Ray. That does end the second section, which was mostly, if you noticed, focusing on mobilizing the joints, making sure all our joints are lubricated, full of nutrients, full of fluid. And we did a little movement pattern, so great. Now we're on to the, well, first of all, it's a good time to grab your breath, grab a drink, but don't wait too long because we want to be efficient with our time, right? So we're going to go into the third phase, which is the maximal effort phase. And I'm not stalling at all to do it, but it's important to approach it like it's supposed to be hard, it's supposed to be difficult. Can you push yourself here, right? It's a warm up to pushing yourself. So just, you know, give your best effort. Whatever that effort is totally cool with me. As long as it's your 100%, that's what matters, right? So, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna do a move. Before I do it, do a move here, and then go into a sprint. And we want those sprints to be as fast as you can. Again, whatever your best speed is. So the first thing we're gonna do is mountain climbers. We're doing 20. Faster, come on, Mike. Come on, and run. I'm not a very good sprinter, but sure takes a lot out of you, which is the point. It's also good to stop at the end. Eccentric. Strength of your legs, we'll talk more about later. Next thing we're gonna do, keep it up, don't take too much break. We're gonna do 10 jumping lunges and then a sprint. Ready, and go. 1. Jump high. Come on, a little faster, a little higher. There you go. Don't smash the knee. 9, 10, and then sprint. Come on. Oh, I'm sure I'm an ugly runner. Sorry, everybody. I was watching video of myself. Got to work on my form. But again, I'm trying to play roller derby. I'm not trying to be the best at sprinting. Last but not least, we're going to do, I think I could do 10. I did 5 yesterday. I think I could do 10. 10 tuck jumps, which is Jump squat in the air, lift your legs up. So like that. Land nice. Oh, maybe not 10. Oh, we're doing it now. 3, 4, 5. Come on. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 10. And a sprint. Come on. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, I want to have a witty ending, but I'm legit breathless here. That's it. That's the end of phase 3. And you can see I probably took around that 15-minute mark. Give or take a little time for water, questions, general team logistics. But all in all, you get a good warm-up. You do all the goals we talked about. And it's fast, it's over with, right? So thanks for watching. And help me out if you liked, subscribed, shared it, commented, all that fun stuff. If you have ideas for anything you want for me to look at, for me to research, for me to make a video on, again, I'm a certified athletic therapist. I'm in here, I'm in a clinic, figuring stuff out. And I'd love to help us in the community. Thanks for watching. D-Ray, I'm out.